Hello, everybody. Today is the second class for the ninth grade here in Kosovo. We will be talking about the past simple in language in use. First, we will make a review of the past simple. We use the past simple to talk about actions which have been finished, finished in the past. For example, the ancient Egyptians built incredible pyramids. Los egipcios construyeron pirámides increíbles. Esto ya sucedió. Es una acción terminada en el pasado. No es algo que sigue sucediendo. Es algo que pasó y terminó. We use didn't or did not with a verb in the base form to create the negative of the past simple. For example, they didn't have satellite navigation in those days. Ellos no tenían navegación satelital en esos días. Si se dan cuenta, el didn't es lo que está en negativo acá, porque este es un not. Y el verbo no está en pasado, está en forma base, no tiene esa agregada, no tiene nada diferente. Forma básica. We use did with a verb in the base form to make questions. For example, did the ancient Egyptians build in Mexico too? ¿Construyeron los antiguos egipcios en México también? Si se dan cuenta, acá el did, solamente did, sin not, did, está al principio de la oración. Está al principio. Después tenemos quien realiza la acción. Después tenemos el verbo. Y esto es información extra, como lugar o tiempo o forma. Recuerden, si estamos hablando en una oración afirmativa, primero tenemos la persona que realiza la acción, el verbo en pasado y lo demás. Lo demás puede ser un lugar, una forma, un momento. Si es negativo, tenemos la persona que realiza la acción, didn't, el verbo en forma base y lo demás. En caso de que sea una pregunta, empezamos con did, la persona que realiza la acción, el verbo en forma base y lo demás. Ahora continuemos con el primer ejercicio para practicar esto. Write 5 questions in the past tense using the verbs and expressions of time you will find next. Use your own ideas to give context to each sentence. Tienen que usar estos verbos y estas expresiones de tiempo para hacer sus oraciones. La idea es que sean preguntas, que sean preguntas. Por ejemplo, nosotros ya sabemos que todas las preguntas empiezan con did. Ya que tenemos did. Después viene la persona que hizo la acción o que hace la acción. You. El verbo en este caso, por ejemplo, estamos haciendo play. Play está aquí. Y esto es, estás preguntando si jugó algo, pues entonces tienes que preguntar qué cosa jugó. Jugaste, en este caso es fútbol. Aquí tenemos un lugar y aquí tenemos cuándo. Sus oraciones pueden ser mucho más sencillas. Siempre van a tener que pasar con did. Por ejemplo, did, a ver, no sé, tu perro. Did your dog. Tenemos un verbo. A ver. Eat, más fácil. Sería comer. Did your dog eat? Primero veamos un tiempo. ¿En julio o iris? Pongámosle this morning, esta mañana. Entonces tenemos did your dog eat this morning? Decime una pregunta. Recuerden, did, sujeto, verbo en forma base y expresión de tiempo. Ahora les toca a ustedes. Pero por ahora vamos a continuar. The next activity is listening. So, before you listen to the audio, please observe these images and answer the questions. What is happening in the pictures? And how are the pictures connected? If we watch the first image, we will see many cars in a traffic jam. In B, you will have people waiting in a bus station. C is a person checking a car. And D is an eruption, volcanic eruption. Recuerden hacer esto antes de escuchar el audio, que les voy a dejar al final de. Continuamos. Listen to the first part of Sophia's story and identify. Esto es solamente que la primera parte, el primer audio. A. Sophia's destination. B. The month she was there. C. When she had to fly back home. D. The way she found out about the volcano. Observe the images again and answer. Which picture represents the situation Sophia mentions in her story? Why? Ahora vamos a dejar un tiempo para el audio número 1.
Track 3, page 11, activity 2.
A few years ago, I was on holiday in the Atlas Mountains in Tunisia. You know, in North Africa.
Wow, was it hot?
Yeah, it was only May, but it was incredibly hot.
Who were you with?
My parents and Leo, my brother. We were there for 10 days. It was great, but we had a terrible journey home.
Really? Why was it so bad?
Well, we were on a coach in the mountains. We were on our way to Tunis. It was Saturday, and our flight was the next day. The journey was very hot and a bit boring. But then I got a text message. It was from my best friend, Alicia, in London. She said there was a huge volcano in Iceland. There were clouds of ash in the air, and there were lots of flights cancelled all over Europe because it was dangerous for planes. I told my parents, but they didn't believe me. They thought it was a joke. But then my brother got a message too. His friends said exactly the same thing.
Okay, let's continue. Listen to the rest of the story and answer. What was the situation at the airport? Why? Why was the boat journey awful? What was the problem on the journey to Paris? How long does a flight take between Tunis and London? How long did their journey take? And finally, answer. Do you prefer active or relaxing holidays? Why? La idea de estos chicos es que les respondan con el segundo audio que vamos a poner a continuación.
Track 4, page 11, activities 4 and 5.
So what did you do?
Well, we stayed in a hotel in Tunis that night. But we got up really early the next morning and took a taxi to the airport.
And were there any flights?
No, it was chaos. There were so many people. So my parents decided to get a boat to Italy. We went by bus to the port in Tunis. And my parents bought tickets for Livorno. The ship sailed at night. We couldn't get a cabin, so we slept on really uncomfortable chairs in the cafe. It was awful. We arrived in Italy the next day. And guess what? We couldn't get on a train because they were all full. But after about 5 hours, we got on a train to Paris. We only had 2 seats, so my brother and I stood in the corridor. And then from Paris, we got another train to London. And finally, we went home by taxi. You know, the flight from London to Tunis takes about 3 hours, but our journey took over 60 hours.
You poor thing.
Ok. Recuerden, chicos, que la idea es que ustedes busquen las palabras de las preguntas si que no las entienden. No intenten traducir toda la pregunta. Busquen palabras que ustedes creen que son importantes, las buscan por separado y pues intentan entender la pregunta. Esa es la idea, para que ustedes aprendan a leer esas cosas de manera más rápida. ¿Ya? Recuerden también tomar notas en su cuaderno, anotar las respuestas ahí, mandarme una foto después de lo que están haciendo. Estoy disponible durante toda la semana. Por favor, no me escriban los viernes después de la 1 ni los días de lunes a jueves después de las 5. Que estén bien. Hasta la próxima clase.